Let's explore how AI is changing the video production landscape. According to reports, a Chinese Type 052D destroyer shadowed an American Arleigh Burke-class destroyer sailing near the Spratly Islands. Chinese naval radio broadcasts warned the U.S. vessel multiple times, declaring that it had entered Chinese territorial waters. American commanders refused the warnings, replying that they were operating in international waters as permitted under international law. The standoff escalated as Chinese J-16 fighter jets flew overhead, and U.S. helicopters launched from the destroyer's deck in response. For hours, two sides maneuvered dangerously close, raising the risk of collision or miscalculation. Observers described the situation as one of the tensest encounters in years. The South China Sea is not just a stretch of water. It is one of the most important maritime regions in the world. Over $3 trillion worth of trade passes through its waters every year. The seabed holds rich reserves of oil and natural gas, while its waters are vital fishing grounds for regional economies. China claims nearly the entire sea under its so-called 9-dash line, despite an international tribunal ruling against it in 2016. To enforce its claims, China has built artificial islands equipped with military runways, missile batteries, and radar systems. The U.S. and its allies, however, reject China's sweeping claims, insisting that these waters remain international. Over the past 2 decades, China has built the world's largest navy by number of ships. It has invested heavily in destroyers, submarines, aircraft carriers, and advanced anti-ship missiles. China's strategy in the South China Sea is not only about power projection, but also about creating a zone of control that deters the U.S. and its allies. By shadowing U.S. ships, broadcasting warnings, and deploying aircraft overhead, China signals both strength and determination without firing a shot. These gray zone tactics are designed to push rivals back while avoiding direct war. The United States has long conducted what it calls freedom of navigation. Operations, or FONOPS, in the South China Sea. These missions are meant to challenge China's territorial claims and assert the right of all nations to sail through international waters. In this latest incident, the U.S. Navy insisted that its destroyer was operating lawfully and would not be intimidated. American allies such as Japan, Australia, and the Philippines have also voiced support for these missions, warning China against aggression. But with each standoff, the risk of miscalculation grows. A collision, a radar lock-on, or even a single missile launch could spark a conflict that neither side truly wants. Countries in Southeast Asia are watching these incidents closely. Nations like Vietnam, Malaysia, and the Philippines have their own territorial disputes with China in the South China Sea. While some seek U.S. support as a counterbalance to China, others remain cautious, not wanting to be caught in the middle of a U.S.-China confrontation. The region is caught in a delicate balance between economic ties with China and security assurances from the United States. The South China Sea is more than a regional dispute. It is a front line in the global struggle for power between Washington and Beijing. For China, control of these waters symbolizes its rise as a global power and its determination to push the U.S. out of its neighborhood. For the U.S., maintaining a presence here is about defending international law, supporting allies, and preventing China from rewriting the rules of the global order. Neither side is willing to back down. Every encounter in these contested waters is a gamble. Even a small miscalculation, a pilot error, a ship collision, or a misunderstood warning could ignite a much larger conflict. Both nations have advanced militaries, nuclear weapons, and global interests at stake. A war between the U.S. and China would be catastrophic not only for the region but for the entire world. This latest confrontation between China and the U.S. Navy is not just a headline. It is a warning of what's at stake in the South China Sea. As the world watches, the question remains, is this the calm before the storm? Or will diplomacy prevent a war between the world's two greatest powers? For more deep dives into global military conflicts and power struggles, subscribe to the channel and join the discussion.